Hello, I'm Jana, and this is Cooking 101. Today we're going to be making coleslaw. Now that's one of those things that every good Southern cook needs to know how to make because it comes up in a lot of situations on your hamburgers, your hot dogs. Many times you need a good coleslaw recipe. And we're going to start today with 5 cups of chopped cabbage. You can grate this if you'd like. You can buy the shredded cabbage that comes pre-cut in the grocery store, or you can get a head of fresh cabbage. But 5 cups of chopped cabbage, as fine as you like it. And then we're going to take 3/4 of a cup of good Southern vinegary mayonnaise. You know what kind I'm talking about. Not the kind that you put on sandwiches, not the sweet sandwich spread, but it's got to be good Southern mayonnaise. 3/4 of a cup of that. And then just to make it, give it a little zing, we're going to put a little bit of vinegar, probably about 1/8 of a cup. And you can adjust this to taste. Now this is kind of hard to incorporate together, but just start mashing all that cabbage in with the mayonnaise because you're going to want every little piece coated. Once you get everything stirred together, make sure there's no clumps of mayonnaise left at all because you don't want your friends and family to be biting into a big spoonful of coleslaw and get a big spoonful of mayonnaise instead. Make sure every piece of that cabbage is coated. And then we're going to add a little bit of seasoning. Again, this is to taste, most of this in recipe, but 2 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons of plain white sugar, just depending on how sweet you like it. Now at our house, we like things really sweet, but 2 to 3 tablespoons of white sugar. Incorporate that very good because again, you don't want a glob of mayonnaise and you don't want a spoonful of sugar. And then we're going to add salt and pepper to taste. About 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt will be plenty. And I'm going to put about 1/2 a teaspoon of pepper. And again, this can be adjusted as you go along and as you work this recipe. Now, as you all know, you can put a lot of different things in coleslaw. You can add some red cabbage, you can add carrots, you can add bell pepper. But this is just a plain recipe that's good with anything. Now, a lot of you may wonder, how in the world do a lot of restaurants and fast food chains get good, creamy coleslaw? Well, there's a secret ingredient that I'd like to share with you, and that is milk, of all things. Milk is what gives that coleslaw its creaminess. So start with about 1/2 a cup, just depending on how much coleslaw you're making. Add that in. And pour up to 3/4 of a cup of milk directly into your coleslaw. Make sure that you stir everything so that it's mixed very well. And the object is to have everything covered with that milk. Now, once you've added all of your ingredients, push the coleslaw down into the milk mixture and cover it really well and put it into the refrigerator at least overnight. That will make the very best coleslaw that you have ever had. Now, I think we probably should taste this and make sure it's where we want it. I'm going to take just a little dab of this. And I'm sure if my husband were around, he'd want just a little bit more pepper. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit more pepper on the top of this. And let's try it and see what we've got. My goodness. That is going to be the creamiest coleslaw recipe you've ever had. And once it's chilled, everybody's going to want to have some with their hamburger or hot dog or anything that you grill. Thank you for joining me today for Cooking 101. I hope you'll come again and we'll talk some more about recipes that are bound to make everybody come running to your table.